Hello.
We're here again
Again.
for week 11.
You're guessing. I don't know what
Week
week
11.
it is.
It is week 11. I know it doesn't feel like Rewind Wednesday number 11, but it is.
Yeah, and I apologize. I'm getting over a head cold, so if I don't sound extremely intelligent, that's why.
That's the only reason.
Only reason.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
But yeah, no, we're back, and it's exciting to be
Yeah.
here. It's another Wednesday, and another fun day in collectibles, and another
Yeah.
day at Rewind. And good news is, a little bit of announcement. We are moving locations.
That is.
We're expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, adding a warehouse, and it's going to be amazing. And all that should be buttoned up in the next week or two. So
That is the goal. And is when we know information, obviously you'll know information for when our shipping address is going to change.
Yeah.
That's something to keep an eye on.
the address right now is still the same. We're
Yes.
still in the building, but we are, dotting the I's, crossing the T's on the new lease. So
Yep.
when that gets pushed over, we'll let you know, and let you know the new address for when we do move over there.
It's super exciting. It's going to be more of our own.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to feel like.
It's almost doubling the space, and also it just gives us more. Right now we're in a business park almost, and we get to give our own space.
Yeah.
And that means bigger parties, more barbecues.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, it's going to be. It's going to be
The
good.
barbecues on Fridays. That's
Maybe we should be live streaming those.
That'd be fun.
Ooh, like a rewind hangout. Maybe that's like a quarterly hangout where we grill and talk about music
Yeah.
and movies.
Also,
and more.
we can't forget. Tracy turned 27 this week.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Tracy.
Happy birthday.
That was yesterday. And you're driving out to San Diego tonight, right? Yeah.
Youngblood.
concert down in San Diego.
So
Driving there and back in one day. Like, that's
whoever wants to go,
dedication.
big party there.
Right.
Yeah.
It will be. God. Yeah.
Youngblood's featuring a birthday party for Tracy.
Yeah. That is why he's doing it.
Yeah.
He knew.
So, but
He
yeah,
knew
what else we got going on?
Well, I was going to start with a fun fact.
Oh, you just want to go into fun facts? That's like very serious.
Yeah.
What is your fun fact for the week?
My fun fact for the week is the first video rental store was opened in LA in 1977 by George Atkinson, and he has been described as the father of the rental store. And when Magnetic released their first 50 tapes, he bought those first 50 tapes. He then offered them for rental. You had to pay your $50 membership fee for a year, or only $100 for lifetime membership. And then he rented.
That was cheap.
Right, $100 for lifetime. You would hope that they were gonna
Well, they
hire
got
him.
way more expensive. I know when my dad got his, it was like $500 to rent a VCR.
Damn,
And it was, I forgot how much per tape.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was $10 a tape. So I think that by the end of it, they had I think it was over 600 stores around the continental US.
So he's the father of the rental store.
Yeah, he's
That'd be
been
really
gifted
sad.
that title.
Is he still alive? Because he had to see
No.
his all. Oh, okay, I was gonna say he had to see all his stores get destroyed by the
yeah.
modern video.
Right.
I mean, I know that's messed up.
I think it was 2005 is when he passed
Okay,
away,
it was still going.
still going. It was the
I was
tail
working,
end.
I was working at Blockbuster tail end by then.
Yeah, I mean, the last video tape wasn't released until a year after that, so they were still saying that this is a viable media.
Oh, they were not saying it. Not I was working at Blockbuster, and we had DVDs, and everyone was chill about that at the time.
I don't even think when we had Blockbuster they did DVDs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I don't ever remember going to a Blockbuster and renting a DVD. I only remember renting VHS.
Yeah, I worked there during high school, I think. We really didn't have VHS. That's why, I don't have all the knowledge. If I did have VHS, I would remember every part of it.
Obviously.
But, yeah, they just had... Because we never had to rewind anything. And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
we never had to switch out the covers. So if you remember the Blockbuster case, I wish I had one here somewhere, but they would be in their own case and have that yellow piece that was stuck up in it to be a locking mechanism. So in the back, you'd have to switch them all out before they went out for rental.
Right.
So people couldn't just steal them. They had the yellow magnetic.
Yeah.
So
okay, there you go. Inside knowledge. I got another fun fact that we can come back to.
No. I mean,
well, yeah, more about videos and DVD and home video, Disney tried to ban VCR production because they thought it was going to harm their ability to like sell movies.
That's weird.
Yeah, they wanted to ban they sued Sony. It was Universal and Disney sued Sony to try and prevent them from releasing VCRs in the US.
So weird.
Right?
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, this is in the 70s, because the first VCR was available in 75, and yeah, Disney and Universal didn't like it.
You know, I put this out for just display, but this was 1977.
1977.
Some people ask, you know, we talked about this potentially being the first one released. It's 1977, and then it has 1001.
Yep.
So this is a 2-part tape. But yeah, just a little fun beast right there.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that in the very beginning, a lot of the first magnetic tapes were 2-parters.
Yeah.
And these movies are so long. Like, we talk about like End War and Infinity War like being really long movies. So were these.
Yeah.
Like, these would go on for days. There would be intermissions. Like, you don't do that anymore.
Was it Blue Brothers was the one where it was a 2-part, and they over time went to a 1?
Yeah.
They actually, we have one in our library where it's the 2-parter. I think Jeremy made me aware of that, and we actually have that here.
Yeah, it's really interesting that when these movies were re-released in future generations, more like a CBS Fox version of Hello Dolly. Obviously, that was just one tape. But then you look at movies like Cleopatra, again, a movie that went on for a very long time, and even in the 80s,
dare you to watch the whole thing,
right? Yeah, and not fall asleep. And even in the 80s, that would arrive as 2 tapes. We actually have one right now. I'm looking at.
Well, the one movie I could think that's actually that good where it's worth watching that long, Godfather.
Godfather. Yeah. That's fair. I'll accept that. Yeah.
I mean, because it's that good.
Yeah, it is a good one. No doubt about that.
So, we'll be jumping all over today because why not? I'm gonna do a little bit of music segment. First, this actually goes into counterfeits because I get a lot of people every week asking me, "Is this real?" Now, number one thing, it's very difficult to tell just by photos. Yeah. It's just. It is. It's not like where the certain watermarks and the tape of seam are very in sequence, you know. So, first, actually, we'll do the final. Here's Notorious B.I.G.
Hold up for the.
Yeah.
Hold this one up.
Yep. This is Ready to Die, his debut album. Has the hype sticker. Now, one thing notice about the hype sticker, it's not hand cut. I've actually seen fakes of this sticker specifically that was hand cut. So I just like to mention that. Notice the almost bleach white, and I think this one has an H overlap seam on the back, but it's very beautiful copy. The parent advisory, everything else. Now, the other copy we're going to show you here is what someone tried to call a unofficial release. It's hard to tell from the thing, but this is actually more of a beige cream color.
Yeah.
It really, I'm having a feeling it's probably difficult to tell, but it's not white, but it's actually like a beige cream. Now this is a bootleg, a knockoff. Anyone that tries to say unofficial, that's a knockoff.
Yeah,
and
it's a fake.
They sell these on eBay, on Discogs and such, and that's a fake. And you'll look at the printing quality is not bad, but also what I can show you is the print quality on the record actually wasn't that good. Let me pull that out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll notice those little things that run off.
It's not sealed.
They try to say it was sealed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they try to fight about that. Now I'll wait to actually show the inside of it, but you'd look at it if you didn't know that, you'd be like, oh, this looks like the album. But unfortunately, you know, the reds are a little bit different and such.
Yeah,
but
the picture in the front's not as in focus. Like it's not as crisp.
Let's see if we get side by side. You see the difference in colors, you know. But
you can see it on the camera, like how one is
one
color.
white and one's like off white, and you know it's important that also this one does have a barcode. So those little things do make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look if there's anything else in this. You definitely can tell how the picture is cropped in the back of him is cropped differently.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the colors are off. But I just thought it was a fun one to show because there's a lot of, in vinyl, there's a lot of counterfeits, bootlegs, especially when it comes to sealed. A lot of stuff from the 60s is worth money, a lot more money sealed than not sealed.
Yeah.
So what I've been noticing is you see a lot of color touch. Now you only can
Yeah.
usually see that under a blacklight. You also get stickers that are removed from one record to another one.
Yep.
And if you see, like, you look at the sticker and it kind of looks like it's been messed with, you might want to question it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because if on eBay, I hate mentioning anything like this, but if you see sellers with a lot of sealed, really good records,
Yeah.
that's almost a red flag.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few I kind of want to call out their names, but I don't know how much trouble I'll get into.
Right,
But
yeah, you're
but,
going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I've bought and put this. I've had to experience the hard way. You buy these things and you get them in and you get excited, and then you realize, hey, there's color touch, the sticker. Literally, they fake print the stickers. Like back then, they're not supposed to be laser print stickers, and the way you can tell is kind of how it's printed.
Yeah.
We had a Metallica we looked at yesterday that was a counterfeit cover.
Yeah.
You could just tell by the printing quality is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mentioned these not because we're grading them in time, but it's because to protect people, because there's a lot of fake stuff out there, and it's not to push people to send stuff to us because we can't take it yet.
Yeah.
But it's just because as a collector myself, I've seen a lot of it, and it's messed up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And with the vinyl records, they're not all modern day fakes.
Yeah.
It's not like this has just happened or the bootlegs have just happened. They were making bootlegs in the 50s and 60s and 70s.
The Beatles, like people,
God.
I've had so many people send me introducing the Beatles, and I talked to a friend of mine who runs a record store for 45 years. He goes, honestly, I've seen one ever legit.
Yeah.
And you might see one a day on eBay.
Yeah.
You pop up, and that's the introducing the Beatles, and the one where George Harrison, If There's No Shadow, and there's all these other tells. But that's the thing, is these things have been valuable in its own right for decades, so they've been baked for a long time.
It's crazy.
All this stuff too.
And it's Chrome Slab is saying ton of fakes. Yeah, it is, and it makes our job more exciting.
It does. It worries me for people buying, and that's my number one concern, because it makes our job exciting, of course, and like we get to try all our different techniques and go under the microscope and such. But also, I just really, because I've done that, I've bought stuff that is, I hate to admit that, but how do you experience it? I mean, you have to experience it to know it.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I've literally bought a handful of records for quite a few $1,000s and been like, hey, this ain't legit.
Yeah.
And it took time, because sometimes myself, I've been there where I got a cassette, I just like, oh, I don't even think, I put it aside. I'm like, cool. And then, like, it'll be like a year later, I'd wrap it. I'm like, wait a second. What? Well, no. Like,
oh, no.
No, that happened from a really reputable dealer like 2 years ago. I bought a cassette, left it in its packaging, put it aside. I was like, oh, I have this album. And then I looked at it, and like right away, it was like a counterfeit. Like, not like a reseal, but this was like straight counterfeit. The printing, when I say counterfeit, that reseals are authentic item that someone just took and put plastic on it. A bootleg or a counterfeit is where someone literally recreated the whole thing. And that happens a lot more during that time period. Cassettes in the 90s. You know, they're making these for a nickel overseas, and they sell them for $5 over here. That's a good markup.
Yeah. Super popular. I think also for people in the military as well. That was huge. So they would be in the military and they'd go overseas, and then they would purchase all these bootlegs overseas and actually bring them back here and then start pawning them off to people.
Well, yeah, because over there sometimes they had these records. That's the only way they could listen to them.
Yeah.
I actually had some I bought at a swap meet that were military. Overseas ones, and they're kind of cool because they're knockoffs, but they're not that good of knockoffs.
And they have that added little bit of provenance as well.
Exactly.
To the tape. Yeah, because I know somebody who, when he was in the Navy, that's what he did. When they were away on deployment somewhere, he would just come back with a whole bunch of tapes.
And let me say that the reseals, we've seen tons that do have breath and vent holes, so that doesn't mean, if you see a vent hole, it doesn't just mean, oh, it's legit. Those get faked very easily. Stickers get pulled off from one vinyl to another. On cassettes too, they get reprinted, and it's unfortunate.
Someone's saying, I've never seen a full resealed reprint VHS.
What about, I don't want to bring in our competition, but I was going to mention that one.
There was that one.
Yeah, what was that?
It was a DVD copy. but that's technically not.
Chucky, Bride of Chucky.
It was Chucky. Or
Yeah,
something.
that was H seam over. That was a really good seam.
Yeah.
On a DVD reproduction
Of a VHS.
Yeah.
So
that was a red flag. A lot of people, when I saw that, I looked at that. I'm like, that is how good people can redo the seams, because that seam looked really good, and there's people that are, I would say, professional at this.
Yeah, and I think it's the only one I've ever heard of. We've seen reseals, we've seen original boxes with color touch, but
yeah, it's not worth usually counterfeiting, because you can buy the thing usually for
it's so cheap.
$5, $10, $20, so it's not usually worth it.
Yeah.
But that's where, you know, you got to be careful a lot of these things, because where there's money comes corrupt people.
Exactly.
And that's where, you know, trying to protect collectors is really our number one goal.
Yeah.
And that's not, it's something that's, you know, a never-ending battle.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you shouldn't have to question the authenticity of something you want to purchase.
It's so messed
and
up.
Collect.
It's so messed up. Like,
you know?
I get so pissed off about that. Like,
Yeah.
I hate it, but like, I love collecting. Like, I love finding a good piece, knowing it's good.
Yeah.
And even if I have to spend money, but nothing's worse than getting taken advantage of.
Oh.
And that's why we're here. I mean, again, we're not bringing this up to make ourselves look like saints. It's kind of to give warning that this stuff happens out there.
If we weren't doing this, we'd still be saying it.
Yeah. I said it for a long time before this.
Yeah.
And, that brings us to the next thing is here's some cassettes. Could you show them the cassette?
Sure.
And then we'll.
Yeah. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Both. Let's just show both. So these are two cassettes just from we wanted to show. Roy Orbison, great, you know, he unfortunately passed in the late 80s after he did his album with the Traveling Wilburys, one of my favorite supergroups. Traveling Wilburys had Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, Jeff Lynne. Really a group.
Imagine seeing that live.
Oh man, I don't think they ever did. I mean, so good though. Well, Roy Orbison died, I think, right after the album. Yeah, the first album, the second album, but yeah, check out Traveling Wilburys, their debut album. That was really good. So the reason why we show these cassettes is one of them is a reseal.
One of these isn't quite like the other.
Yep. Now, how do we know this? Well, we did it. We did it because the one way to learn how things are reproduced is to learn how people do it, and we go through the process, and you know, the thing is,
the question is though, is people who are watching this, can you see which one is fake?
Yeah.
Can you tell from this video? Obviously, it's not the best quality excuse we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Out of these two, which one is?
And next week we're gonna tell you which one. So, not this week, but that's the thing with cassettes. It gets tough because we're just literally talking about a piece of plastic on top of a jewel case, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not like cardboard where there could be some wear thing. You have hard plastic, which is not usually, even if it's cracked, that can happen with the plastic being fine. So
here's the front.
there is some silver bullets and all this that
and then
you know.
Second one. So yeah, next week.
So you know, the reason I think going over a lot of it, because this stuff is always in my mind about, you know, how to tell what is counterfeit. We try to give what we can. We can't give away every little secret, because then we're teaching how to fake them.
Yeah, which we don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
It is always that fine line of making sure there's enough information that when people are looking online that you can see, okay, that looks a bit sus, I might look for something else, but not giving out the information so that person selling that sus tape can then be better.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's also like, it's just, that's why CDs we don't do it. We're only going to do stuff with the title strip, because at the end of the day, like, how some of these are sealed CDs, I don't think we would be able to, at this time, be able to say definitively, this is a reseal, this is not a reseal. It can change, but, you know, I'm a little bit afraid of the companies that will be doing such things and just guessing.
Yeah.
Because that to me is highly irresponsible.
Yeah.
I really do hope our our colleagues or whatever you want to call it. I don't look at, honestly, I hope they do the best thing possible.
Oh yeah.
I hope they push themselves to keep learning and you know, because I've seen cassettes go up and vinyls that I'm like, hey, maybe that's questionable, and I hope you know, I hope they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they might. I'm not, you know, like the thing is, it's a new hobby that could, for values in ways,
Yeah.
that's growing, and it scares me for people to be blindly spending.
Yeah.
You know, so one thing I recommend is stay away. If someone has a lot of stuff that seems too good to be true, that's a question, red flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, really analyze your pieces. You know, that's the thing is, you know, you might be trying to shy yourself away from the truth. I've done it. I've bought paintings that the artist recreated.
Yeah.
By his own hands. The original artist recreated it, and then they were fake.
Yeah.
So, and I saw hints of it, and I just try to ignore them without subconsciously. So
yeah. It's nice to see people trying to guess which one is right. And yeah, you'll find out next week, and we'll give you a little bit more information on them. And
you have a 50-50 chance.
You do, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe next week we'll do 10 of them.
It's pretty good odds, 50-50. You know,
and there's little stuff we'll try to say, and you know, it's, you know, with, I keep jumping around, but vinyl, you know, the overlap H seam on the back, that wasn't something in the 60s. So if you're buying a record that you think's from the 60s, shouldn't have an overlap seam.
Yeah.
So that's really important stuff. From the 50s, there was vent holes. Some people ask me, was there vent holes in the 50s? Yes. Now, we can't say definitively every item had a vent hole.
Yeah.
We're trying to work that out, but we don't like to make assumptions.
Yeah. No, everything is based on what we know.
It's not, well, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. What movie? Training Day.
Training Day. Okay.
Great movie.
Yeah.
You know who's originally supposed to play the lead actor in that?
No.
Eminem.
Oh, wow.
Learned that fact while working at Blockbuster.
Nice.
He was supposed to play who Denzel Washington played.
Wow.
I know, that'd be a much different movie.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, Eminem or Denzel. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't. It's not what you know; it's what you can prove.
Yeah.
So, and that's important. You know, you got to go with your gut of like sometimes like, hey, something feels off, and types of plastic matter too. Now, you know, you could just look at it and be like, this is wrong. This isn't 50 years old.
Yeah.
You know, that's very important. You know, that happens sometimes. We'll get a record that's literally 1967 doors, and it's like, no,
it's
like, no, like you don't even have to open it. I mean, but
it thinks it is, but it's not.
Yeah. Anything else today? I mean,
I got another trivia fact.
You're just full of them today.
I've just got them all. In Super Trooper.
Ooh, I love that movie.
Right, hilarious. The scene where they're drinking the syrup, actually drinking syrup.
I believe that.
Yeah.
The snozberries tasting snozberries.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't even know you saw that movie. Half the time I mention movies to you guys are like,
yeah,
I forgot that I'm like a decade older.
I know things.
You know things.
I'm like Tyrion Lannister. I drink and I know things.
Yeah, Tyrion was badass.
Oh yeah. Not a bad reference.
But Ed Sheeran was shit in that show. Sorry, I know
they drank 3 bottles each. 3 bottles of full syrup each.
God, I wonder what the time span was. Cause I think like,
I have no idea.
That sounds delicious. No. Challenge accepted for next week.
We're going to turn into a food eating show now instead of just VHS and movies. We're just diversify. You know, you got it in this day and age.
We're trying to just get the viewers.
You got to stay relevant.
You know, trying to get up on that TikTok viewership.
Yeah. Exactly.
See, I got it right.
You got it right. Yeah. Well, we're not live on TikTok, but it's okay.
Wait, no?
No, we're live on Twitch.
Those two are always like...
We're live everywhere else.
Okay.
But not TikTok. Not yet. We're trying to. Go follow us on TikTok.
We are on TikTok.
We are on TikTok.
But this is not on TikTok.
But right now, live, no.
If you guys have any ideas to what to do on TikTok, that's something we're talking about, like blowing shit up. You know? Yeah,
throwing the encapsulations off the roof and stuff. And
yeah, we only can do that so many times.
Yeah.
Like,
no, we should just do it every day. We should just be like
the everyday. How's it landing shot? Or a different way of blowing it up. Like put an M80 in there.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll try to figure out.
Eat the airplane. I don't know.
But that's what people watch is we blow shit up.
Yeah. Or if there's really cool music, you go like that.
Yeah, but then
TikTok's all about the music.
Is it?
Yeah. You need to get on TikTok. God.
don't have enough time to like. How many social medias can you be on at once? Like,
Well, apparently right now 4 for us.
well, I check my Instagram and I check my Facebook, and then I talk to the few people and I
Yeah.
call it a day.
I mean, that's healthy. I don't use Facebook, but I use a lot of TikTok. It's
What do you do on TikTok?
so there's many things you can do. I like the informational ones. So there's like mechanic talk. There's like airplane talk, cat talk.
Why don't we do collectible talk?
We can do collectible talk is huge. Mainly Pokemon cards and opening cards.
Here's something interesting. Actually, I forgot. This week I was teaching my daughter how to play Pokemon.
Oh.
The funny thing is, I have no fucking clue how to play Pokemon. So, like, I literally was reading the instruction. We got to like putting out the cards. I think there's the training.
Yeah.
I forgot whatever. And I'm like, okay, we're good for the day. I gotta learn more before I go more. I bought like these 2 decks.
Yeah.
Because what happened was my nephew gave her some Pokemon cards. She's
Right.
6 years old and gave her
Yeah.
the Pokemon cards. She was really excited. My wife bought her a booklet.
Oh,
So I bought her
nice.
2 sets. I'm like, let's learn how to play. And
Yeah.
one of you guys might have to teach me because I'd love to teach her. I just
Yeah.
never played myself.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
I was never a Pokemon kid. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh card kid. You ever play Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
That...
I was Magic. I
Oh,
never
yeah.
played. I just
Okay.
collected them.
Oh, okay.
So I always wanted to learn how to play.
Yeah.
So
Magic is great.
yeah.
Any card-based game is great.
Well, I love the art of Magic the
God.
Gathering because, like, I remember. Yeah, I mean it was like 94, 93 when it came out, 94, and
Yeah.
my buddy had all the good cards and
Right.
they were really cool looking.
Yeah.
In high school, my buddy, I was collecting them, and he got him kind of back into it. So he
Yeah.
already had a Black Lotus.
Right.
He had it from as being a kid before they were worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So he bought another one for like, I forgot it was like $2,000 or whatever it was, and then he ended up selling it for $70,000
Oh my.
just recently to pay for his new pool or something. Like it was something.
Because obviously someone with that card would have a pool. That's
Well, he
insane.
didn't have a pool,
But he does now.
now he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a bunch of kids, and it helped us. It was one of those stories like, oh, this paid for a big help their life out, you know.
Yeah.
So it was,
That's insane.
yeah, it was just last year they sold it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, when we were moving, there was we had a yard sale just before it, and Chels had a big booklet of Pokemon cards.
Oh
and
no.
pretty much all of them, and some not super rare ones, but ones that were worth like a few $100s for a card. And yeah, this booklet we sold to a guy for like $800, and we're like, hey.
I bought it. I sold it for $10,000.
Well, we're like, someone else does that and
Yeah.
has time to do that, and is their time.
We
Can
could
be
give it to my
spent.
thanks. My daughter would have really
Right,
liked it.
well, I was thinking that. I'm like, oh god, if only we knew.
No, I'm just
If only we
messing,
knew
but-
you were going to go into Pokemon. But yeah, TikTok, you can learn a lot of stuff. It is a really helpful resource for, learning how to fix things or learning how to just live your life better, because experts can go on there
Mhm.
and directly interact with people. Like there's no miscommunication because it's coming straight from the expert.
Well, I always liked YouTube whenever I need to learn how to like fix something.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it like that?
It's exactly like that. Just more short form content and usually more engaging.
Yeah, I remember I had a dryer went out back 7-8 years ago, and I looked, and this guy came over and be like, "Oh, it's gonna be $500,000, and the whole unit was only worth that."
Yeah.
So I looked at a YouTube video, bought a fuse, and for $5 fixed it.
Exactly. It's
So-
incredible, and that's what TikTok does. And they do have a lot of collectible things on there. And I think action figures are huge. Like, people love seeing art in old classic games from the late thousands, late
Like,
90s.
what do you say?
early
Do they just
2000s.
show like an action figure? Like, here's my action figure.
No, they show like the packaging of the action figure. They talk about it. Maybe they talk about the history of that
Okay.
specific figure.
That's cool. Like, you'd be like, "Hey, this is Yoda from 1980, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and then they go into
He
some
has
fun facts or
the
whatever.
orange snake on his neck."
Yeah,
Okay.
stuff like
So
that.
why don't we do that like with a movie?
I feel like we could do that with movies. We could be like, hey, this is Hello Dolly. This was the first movie that
I'd be like,
printed in-
"Hey, this is the
VHS.
Beastie Boys' License to Ill.
Yeah.
Came out in 1986."
This is a cassette.
This is-
Explain to people what a cassette is, because the
Oh, it was
majority of
1986.
TikTokers or people who are on TikTok are 18 to 25.
So this did come out in 1986, the copyright, but with the title strip, we know it's 1984. So,
Yeah, we do.
and we're gonna teach you guys a lot more about what's on the title strip and what it kind of entails, because that's really important, and also the early,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we call it.
I think that would be the good use of TikTok for us would be picking a movie, picking a song, picking an album. It's only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't have a huge production value. Distributors. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff about music we're going to show you guys. But yeah, I feel
We
like
got one question. Do you guys specialize in certain genres in hip hop? It's taken me a year of collecting to know how top albums have been sealed, tiny sleeve differences, etc. We will do all genres.
All genres. And
everything.
we really our library is very vast because it was interesting to get all the different labels and try to expand into, usually we try to have a few copies of that, artist, say, Ready to Die, there's a few copies and we know how it's sealed and such.
Yeah.
And it's definitely important to try to hit everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, really starting, literally 1950s have Elvis EPs that are sealed.
Yep.
Johnny Cash on Sun Records.
Yep.
We're trying to get
Elvis and
not a full length, but we have rare Elvis records.
Yeah.
Beatles, Dylan, Hendrix, Doors, Janis Joplin go into the 70s.
Yep.
Jefferson Airplane.
Everything from every genre.
It's cool because how we learn about these sometimes, a good way to actually teach yourself is you put it in order and also by label, because the labels go by certain printing plants.
Yeah.
And then you go by printing plants and you kind of get some synchrage of when all these, how this kind of came to be. We're always researching, even with VHS. Like, we're always researching and finding out those little tiny details that make it so that we don't get things wrong. Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, you constantly have to be evolving and questioning your own beliefs, because the second you think you know something is when you get something right. So,
exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's, as I've seen, I think you have the Ready to Dies. It does take quite a few to make you realize, okay, this seems like how it goes, but then you'll find the oddball. But then it could be printed 2 years later at a different factory. It is quite the pain. But that's just how it is. There's no guidebook to be like, hey, this is the type of plastic, so we kind of got to make the buck on that.
Yeah. That could be an idea.
And we look forward to your help on that too, because we're the first ones to say we will make mistakes in time, and not ever on purpose. But the only way to do is to learn and keep open-minded that we could be wrong. And that's where when I look at our competitors, I actually look to collaborate with them if possible, just to even help them. But also, hey, we could be wrong. If we're ever
wrong, it helps
wrong,
everyone.
Yeah,
really.
We want to be held accountable.
Oh yeah,
so
totally. We're not. We want to be doing right by everyone, by doing right by even the artist who made that music. They don't want people spending all their money on things that aren't legit. They have pride in everything that they're making.
Yeah, it's more about the overall hobby than it is about the pride. I do have to agree with friends who mentioned that Sealed Vinyl has an amazing collection. And is an amazing person every time I spoke. With, I think it's a him. But yeah, that's the type of collaboration we could only, wish to do more and more, is figuring out with you, hey, that's why I came on here and talk about the fakes, is not to go, oh, we know everything. It's because we can help people avoid those lands things that I personally went through in the last few years of collecting. And hopefully if they're able to avoid it, they learn of why, and then they figure out stuff.
Exactly.
So, any last questions? Feel free.
Any set dates for cassettes yet?
Ooh, we are very close.
Very close to having set dates.
We are expecting this to be, let me think what the dates are. In a perfect world.
Yes.
In a perfect world.
Yes.
In a perfect world within 3 months.
Perfect.
Yes. That's without putting us on too much of a pressure plate. Yeah. We have some dates that are sooner on certain stuff. Yeah. But within 12 weeks, we should be launching. We can't put out a definite date because, we're supposed to get something tomorrow, then we're supposed to get another part the following week, and we got to make sure everything fits together. But most importantly, it safely preserves the pieces.
Exactly.
But yeah, we are getting close. All music, so close. First half of this year. So
again, you look at where we've been and
where we're at right now. I mean, we're in April, and I say first half of the year. That's only 12 or 14 weeks. So if again, things could happen. but within 12 weeks, cassette, CDs, and vinyl all should be viable to go live.
And also all VHS types.
All VHS types, we're working on that very hard. And also, I don't know, people have asked me about the timetable for Laserdisc. We haven't put that in stone, but we will have the encapsulations and should have a date very soon of when that could be.
That's going to be
because you know we want to be able to help those people out as well.
Yeah.
Do you grade the
two-pack VHS like Titanic?
So one thing that's kind of we have the encapsulation. We just have to get an order through, and it just takes a few months. So we don't have a timetable right now. I don't want to lie to you. If you need it graded very soon, explore options. The original case was supposed to be a triple that fit a double and a triple. There was a mistake by the designer where the triple doesn't fit, but it could fit a double.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out how many we can order. It's such a rare occasion. It's like you have
it'll take, those ones will take us a little bit more time just because they are more niche.
Yeah.
But we will be doing single tape any size.
Yeah.
Single tape any size. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So
we have the bigger. I'll show it to you guys some other time.
The
we have the encapsulations for the clamshells, everything else.
Yeah.
The double, we don't have those in hand.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing is we have to put in an order from the mold's actually made. But yeah. Any which ways, its short answer is I should have said not yet.
We will be
I try to be too truthful. I don't like bullshitting. So
yeah.
But yeah. Any last questions? I think we covered most of it, and hopefully my head cold just goes away and I get some sleep.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need some rest. You've been so busy.
Yes.
You need a break.
Life.
You were supposed to be going away and then you got sick, so you need to get those.
I got sick
back.
again.
Yeah.
Then my daughter's class, someone had COVID, so then.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Next week he's gonna be a hazmat suit.
Right. There's gonna be
hazmat.
There's gonna be a partition between us.
We're gonna have hazmat.
Two different cameras and two different everythings, and
we're gonna know something went wrong when we're doing it from home.
Yeah.
Hey.
So we got COVID.
We've been very fortunate here. We follow all protocols. We're not in the same room right now.
Yeah. This is all an illusion. I'm an AI.
That'd be pretty dope. I created him out of the chatbot AI.
Yeah. Yep.
What is it called? Bard?
Bard is the Google one. Is Google's chat API.
That's
but anyway, I don't think we have any more questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Always feel free to send in questions. We've been loving seeing the tapes come in. But yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of the week.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.